a world of fun and fantasy, and ever-changing views, and computer terminology. Commodore's news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to the Commodore Cave. Today is a special anniversary. It's been 10 years since I bought my Amiga 1200. But not just any Amiga 1200. This one was an Amiga 1200 Magic Pack, new, old stock. A decade ago, a rumour started circulating that a quantity of brand new Amiga 1200s had been located and were available for sale. In 2012, Petro Tyschtschenko was contacted by a dealer in India. Petro had provided an order of those computers to him, but that order had sat forgotten in an Indian warehouse for 17 years until 2012, when he contacted Petro and asked if he'd be interested in buying them back. Now, this is Petro's story, so I'll let him tell you what happened then.
Even in 2001, I decided not to do anything anymore. Then my friend from India, the former distributor, he called me and said, Petro, I have some A1200s in stock, which you sold to me for $35 17 years ago. You would like to buy them back? I said, what is the price? And he said, €100 I need to get. I said, oh, such a small margin. Yeah, the storage was so expensive. So then I said, I'm not related anymore to Amiga, I have no contacts, nothing. But I will try to put this in the Facebook, and in the Facebook, the community is very active on Amiga, right? I'm surprised, and then I said I have some Amigas for selling, and then they ordering, and I sold them for €150. So from the beginning I got 60 units from India. Was nice, I make some money also. Some people, they said, the Petro is now selling Amigas and make his pension better and get rich and all the things. But there was not so much money earned, but I make some money. And then I said, okay, this is running good, I can take another one. I said I would like to have 100 more. Then he sent me 300. He would like to get rid of this, right? And but the quality was not so good. The package was not in the best condition after 17 years storage in Indian warehouses. And then there was a lot of software was missing, and mouse was missing, and the power supply was broken, and so I have to rework, I have to check everything, and then I got into losses again because I have to go to the warehouse. I hired some people, they're checking this and so on. But the story is now over. I sold all the things. Even now I get still email, I checked by email today, this morning, and or 5 people said, oh Petro, I need a 1200, brand new, sealed, you sold it, I heard this. I said, no anymore, everything is gone, you are too late.
I only heard about these computers a couple of years later, in 2014. It was too good to resist, so I sent off an email inquiry, never expecting to get a response. But within 24 hours, Petro got back to me directly, saying he still had a couple left. Unfortunately though, he advised the boxes had deteriorated so badly that he had to repackage them in a plain box. Was that okay? Well, it was. I could not believe my luck. Well, would you buy a brand new old stock Amiga 1200 Magic Pack today, delivered to your door for under €200? Tough decision. So I put in my order, and within about a month that computer arrived on my doorstep and has taken up residence here in the cave. This is going to be fun. Let's see if I can get this out. She's a tight fit, and it's pretty heavy too, because it's got lots of extra gear in it. Since you're still watching right now, how about taking a second, just hitting that like button right now, because it really does help promote this channel with other enthusiasts. And a little bit of news, I've decided I'm going to produce a video on each of my top 10 favourite computers here in the cave. This will be my own personal preference. Let's see if you agree. I plan to bring the first one out in the next week or two, so keep an eye out for that. The original box was damaged and lost before I got the computer, so this is a replica that I made up myself. Photos of the original box were supplied to me by members of the English Amiga board, so thanks guys. I had those printed up, high definition posters at the local office works, and then I had a box of the exact proportions made up as well from a local manufacturer, and glued the whole lot together to make this pretty decent replica.
So, what's in the box? What's in the box, Harry?
Has full detail, not a bad job. All the software that came with it. That's the other side. I don't think you get a much better reproduction. So I'll pop that over here. This is an Amiga 1200 time capsule. I put this together for the next generation to get hold of it. And I've added most of the things I think you would need in the future that you may not be able to get in 10 or 20 years time. Well, this did come with a computer, and this is the software pack. We'll open that up. The discs, Photogenics and Wordsworth. And the manuals, I can only see the first one, which is for Whiz and Pinball Mania. I presume the other two would be for the word processor. And this is the original receipt that Petro sent with it, and the princely sum of €190, which included shipping. So can't complain about that. This is the Magic Pack acquisition documents from 2014 when I got it. In here is all my correspondence and receipts in purchasing it, and a printout about the story of this whole pallet of computers that were recovered. And there is a link to this in the comments below. The Scala pack, I did pick this up separately sometime later. I've never actually used Scala, had a quick look at it, and people rave about it. I'm a bit more of a PowerPoint man myself, but I'd be interested in actually having a bit more of a look at this in the future. So we've got our genuine Scala disc, I don't think so. I've got our cord that go with it. I even forgot that was there. Man, quite interesting. There's our Scala MM300 version on disc. Accessories that might be hard to come by in the future. A video cable from Retro Computers. Had to throw in a Boeing mouse. Imagine that in the future. Can't do without that. Got a very useful 3.5-inch floppy disk cleaner. Unused, new old stock, never used. Got the chemicals in there still. Over here we actually have an original Amiga 1200 hard drive. This still works, and it's got its cradle. Could easily be plugged back into the Amiga if we needed to, but I think I'll stick with the CF card for the moment. A brilliant Speed King joystick, sealed, never used, brand new, of course. Over here we've got the Amiga OS 3.1 manuals, 3 of those. And here we have an AC1232 40 megahertz, 40 megahertz accelerator that's inside there. Old TV adapter, still unused, that actually came with the original pack. Very handy pack there if you want to get onto the internet, really useful. EasyNet, don't think so, I never found it easy, but it does work eventually. That's the double adapter for the joystick mouse port. So figured that might be useful, and some information about how to use it. Look at that. That came with the computer as well. Brand new, never used of course. The original Amiga mouse. Over here we've got some discs that I've put together myself. That's the Scala pack. There's actually MM400 here. And over here is some new old stock, never opened, high density 3.5-inch discs, and another box of the discs. Okay, so that's 20 of them. And here we've got the original OS 3.1. Very nice. Some audio cables and double adapters for the audios. Never know. That's it. Not quite. In the very bottom of the box, 2 of these gender changers. I usually pop these into the computer and then I can go and smash this around as much as I want and not worry about damaging the actual computer itself. All my computers have that, so why not this one? Right, that takes care of all the accessories. Here is our power supply. When this came, it actually didn't have a plug on it at all, so that's been added. Of course, this was recapped a few years ago. And at last, to the main event. Had to make up the cardboard box and the sides for this because they were long gone as well. And there she is, Amiga 1200. Shall I take it out of the wrap? No, I don't think I will. Okay. Have a look at that. Here is the model sticker and barcode. So, new old stock or unused? I'd have to say unused because it has been opened to be fully recapped and has been used to test it. So it's been on in its life for probably 10 minutes 3 or 4 times just to make sure everything is functioning on it. Now this is an interesting detail. When I received it, it came with that expansion flap on it. And I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because I heard Petro was actually signing these flaps before he sent them off, and collectors were becoming a bit annoyed with him because they didn't want him to do it. Don't really understand why. Anyway, I emailed him again and he very kindly agreed immediately to sign one. And he covered the postage as well. So thanks for that, Petro. I do appreciate it. When I received this, the warranty sticker had already been removed. I presume that was so there was no argument about it still being covered by warranty 30 years later. Don't believe I would have actually made a fuss about that. And I have opened it up, and I'll open it up again now so that you can have a look and see inside. First of all, let's take a look underneath the expansion. Put that over there. And here we have our accelerator card from Indivision. And that is indeed the ACA 1232. 40 megahertz. Anything in the box? Oh yes, some instructions and a disc. Let's open it up. This is the 3rd time ever these screws have been removed and the case has been opened. First time was when it arrived and I had to open it to check it and also to do some hardware installs. And the second time was a few years ago now, where I had it professionally recapped completely. And the 3rd time is right now. Right, and let's take a look. What have we got inside? I'm not going to even detach that. The first thing I noticed, very interestingly, is the date. October 13th, 1995. Wow, this must have been one of the last ones. There's our keyboard. And I just flip that over very, very gently. I've installed an 8GB Transcend compact flash card. Quiet, efficient, will last forever. And it just sits in there very nicely. It's loaded up with all the software I wanted on that. 8GB is enormous. Here's the other side of the accelerator card. We've got a floppy disk drive over here. And that's as far as I want to take it. With this, I'm going to put it back together and plug it in. And we'll give it its probably 4th boot up in its whole life. Right, I've hooked up everything, the monitor's on, about to hit the switch. Hopefully no magic smoke. Haven't done this in a few years now. Okay, access lights on for power. Floppy disk is seeking, good look. The hard disk is accessing, CF card hard drive, and there is a menu bar. Great, that's the workbench screen, 3.1. Ooh, audio. We've got 1.66 of graphic RAM and 126 megabytes of other memory. Okay, so I'll see what's in system. I've forgotten all about this. Let's have a look at audio.
Initiating startup sequence.
Work has got in it games, demos, temps, science, benchmarks. Let's have a look at benchmarks. So a quick look around what we've got here. Our memory. There's the first bank. There's a meg there and another 2 meg of chip. Drives. Yeah, DHO, DH1 and floppy drive. Speed. Mem test. 2G test. Okay, and of course we've got to run a game, don't we? Let's see, what have we got in here? WHD load, funny that. Okay, I've done some work here. Let's have a look. Alien breed, let's have a look at alien breed. I'm happy with that quick test. That's as much as I'm going to do on it. It's working fine, audio's fine, video's fine, and everything still seems to be going okay. So in another 3 or 4 years, I'll plug it in again and hopefully get the same result. The Magic Pack is back here in the cave, pride of place where it belongs. Hopefully I'm not going to need to use that for many years, if ever. My Amiga 1200 back here is my workhorse, and I expect it's going to keep on functioning faultlessly as it has for years now. I'd really like to think that sometime in the future somebody is really going to appreciate that computer. Well, that's it for me today from the Commodore Cave. Hope you enjoyed the visit. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up, it really helps on YouTube, or better still, leave a comment, or better still, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Till next time, from the cave. See ya. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.